Hey fam, and welcome back. I am MarshaunO, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and I'm here to talk to you today about control and how it affects your relationship. This video topic has come in mind because there are a lot of people that are in relationships where they are feeling like they are being controlled, where they're feeling like they cannot be themselves, where they're feeling like they have to answer to someone in the aspect of, can I even go outside like that deep? Yes. Can I go hang out with my friends? Am I allowed, maybe not using that word, but am I allowed to do X, Y, or Z? And it can be a very stressful situation to be a part of. And so I wanted to come to you and give you these 5 points or 5 reasons why, or how I should say, how being in a controlling relationship affects you as the person who is being controlled. The very first thing is that it affects your self-esteem. It lowers your self-esteem. And the longer that you are in a controlled environment, a controlling relationship, the lower your self-esteem plummets, the harder of a hit you take in the area of self-esteem. And unfortunately, as this is happening, you don't realize that you are actually going down a slippery slope. And once you get to the bottom of that slippery slope, it takes a lot for you to come back up. So it definitely lowers your self-esteem. And it also, when you're in a controlling relationship, the romance of the relationship disappears, because again, you're feeling like you're controlled. Maybe you are told to do certain things, like we're going to have sex whether you like it or not, or we're going to, I don't want you to go out to see your friend to do this. You have to take care of the children. So basically, you're taking away the choice that the other person has, or I should say, your choice has been taken away from you, and you're basically going along with the program. And anytime you're in a situation like that, there is little to no romance that is actually happening, because you feel like you cannot be free. You feel like you cannot be yourself. And maybe you're doing this just to please your partner, or because you don't want to lose this relationship, or because you have children and you don't want your children to be raised in a single home environment. A lot of things can happen as to why you stay in situations like this, but your self-esteem is definitely lower, and the romance, the happy-go-lucky, the fantasy stage of the relationship disappears for sure. Another thing that happens is that over time, the longer that you stay in a controlling environment and controlling relationship, your sense of self starts to dissipate. It starts to disappear, like the who you are, what you want, why do you do the things that you do. And the main thing is your voice starts to disappear. And when you start to think about some of the things that you want to do, you automatically hear that voice in your head, which usually is your spouse saying, you shouldn't do, you can't do, why would you do, you need to make sure that you're home to do, don't make me angry. Like, all of those things are in your head, and it's not really your voice that you are hearing. And it's actually really hard to decipher whose voice it really is. Why you're doing the things that you're doing. Is it because it's something that you really want to do, or is it because you don't want that argument when you get home, or you don't want something even worse to occur once you arrive back home, or after doing a certain thing? So your sense of self starts to disappear, and you start to live for that other person. The next thing to think about, when and if you ever get out of this situation, and especially while you're in it, even when you get some freedom, you don't really know how to be free. You don't really know how to make decisions on your own, because someone has told you what to do for a period of time, whether it's a few months or a few years or even decades. So once you become free, you can no longer make decisions by yourself. You feel lost. You feel like maybe I should have actually stayed, or maybe I shouldn't even think about leaving, because once I do, then how am I going to do 1, 2, and 3? How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to take care of children? How am I going to get from point A to point B? So it's a lot of stuff that goes on in your head. So when you do have the opportunity to be free, again, whether you're in the relationship, say for instance your spouse has gone off because he needed to travel or she needed to travel for business or for pleasure, you have that sense of freedom, you're still not free. And sis and bruh, really, you're not free up here. That's what's actually happening. Once a person has your mind, they don't have to worry about you physically going anywhere. That's where the control starts. The control starts up here. And once you give a person your mind, they don't have to worry about you physically leaving out the door, because you become weak. You become a dependent, and you're dependent on your now spouse or your partner, whomever it is that you're in this controlling relationship with. The last and final thing that I wanted to bring to your attention about how being in a controlling relationship affects you is that it can lead and is linked to depression and premature deaths. That one is the deepest one that I really want you to think about. Like, I don't even have to take a deep dive into that. It's linked to depression and premature deaths. Because again, your self-esteem is lowered, the romance has disappeared, is out the window, you have no sense of yourself, like, who am I? Why am I doing this now? You cannot make decisions on your own. Everything about being in a controlling relationship starts to ruin you. Starts to take a stronghold on you, and you feel like you cannot get out. And this is not a great feeling at all. Not a great feeling at all, because we all deserve to be in loving relationships. We all deserve to feel heard. We all deserve to feel loved. We all deserve to feel appreciated and understood. And if you're not getting that from your relationship, it is now time for you to start making some tough decisions. Tough decisions. And if you cannot get out by yourself, then find help. Find somebody that you trust. And even if you don't have anybody in your circle to trust, go to a church, go to a mission, a rescue mission, go to a shelter. That's the word I was really looking for. Get some help, though. Get some help. Another thing that I can tell you to do, and this just come off the top of my head because I work in a hospital, sometimes they'll have in the ladies' bathroom, they'll have like those cards or pamphlets or something that says, do you need help? Call this number, right? So if you're close to a hospital or a clinic or something like that, go inside there. Get the help that you need. Take back control of your own life. Live the life that you need to live for you. Because you're not anybody else's property. Now that's just number one. You're not anybody else's property. And one of the reasons why that person feels that they need to control you is really because of their own insecurities. Something that they're feeling like they're lacking in. And so I'll just take control of this person. Yeah, because they're insecure themselves. So sisters and brothers, if you feel like you are in a controlling relationship right now, then it's time for you to take back control of your own life. Stop giving away your power to people who do not deserve it. Because here's the thing, if a person is willing to take you through said situations that is not healthy for you, again, leading to depression and premature death, that person is not for you. Person is not for you. If they're willing to change and get help and all the other stuff, that's something else, because people can change, but they have to want to change and they have to be ready to change. But that also is for you as well. And so my question to you is, are you ready to change? Are you ready to do something different this year so you can get a different result? Are you ready to take back control of your life, of your sanity, and definitely so you do not get to a point where you are feeling depressed or even suicidal. I love you guys, and there is nothing that you can do about it. We will talk more about this in the next video. Deuces, y'all.